In this video, we're going to be doing something a little more fun than the standard tutorials that I put out, because if you're like me, you've probably played Victoria 3 the normal person way numerous times. So I'm going to show you how to make your games complete chaos. And make sure you stay to the end, because I'm going to let the game play out for 15 years just to see how the AI cleans up the mess that we create. Now, to make things easier, I'm going to be using the advanced cheat menu and less infamy and maneuver cost. Now, these two mods I will leave in the description of this video. And then once you have those mods installed, obviously add them to a playset and then start your game. Now, once you're in the game, obviously go to sandbox mode. You're going to want to do what I show you first before you pick the country that you're going to play. So with that being the case, you're going to want to start off picking one of the great powers in the game. So obviously someone like Great Britain or Russia. It doesn't really matter who, but you just want to pick any one of them. And then if you've installed the cheat menu that I've left in the description, you should get this little skull and crossbones down here. So you want to click that, and then you want to click on debug mode. Now what that will do is it will put your game in debug mode. Now you can turn off debug mode. So once you've done everything that you need to do that I'm going to show you, then obviously you can switch off debug mode and play the game properly. Now the first thing I like to do is I like to start a war with, say, Russia. And then once the diplomatic play has started, you can add war goals. Now what I like to do here is liberate countries. So as you can see here with Russia, we can liberate all these countries. And now you can see why I also use the mod for less maneuver cost. And then we can also liberate Finland as well. Now once the war actually starts, you want to pause the game, and then you want to bring up the debug mode by pressing the tilde key, and you want to type in yes men. So we'll just type that in, and then what we can do now is we can go to the war up here, and we can go to make peace, and we want to click all the liberate ones, just like that, and then propose peace deal. And obviously because we have yes men on, they will accept it. And now what's happened is all these countries have now been freed from Russia. And that just means that when you actually start your game, all these countries will be available to play. And then one other thing you can do is when you go through each country, if you go to diplomacy and then look at your puppets and protectorates, you can just click on them, and in interaction you can grant them independence. Now obviously you can only go to war once with a country because you will get a truce. So that's why you can just switch a country. So what we're going to do now, just to give you an idea, is we're going to switch to Russia. So you can use Control and the Windows key, and then you can just click on a country, or you can go back to the debug mode and you can put tag, space, and then you can put the country ID of the country. So if we was going to do Russia, it'd be RUS, and then you just press that. But because we did it using Control and the Windows key, we don't need to do that. So now we are Russia, we're going to do the same thing. If we look at our diplomatic plays, we can see that we can liberate 5 subjects. So we can just say click on Norway. Now obviously I know you can do this with modding. I just find this is an easier way to do this without modding the game. Plus I'm going to show you a few more things that I like to do after this. So I'm going to liberate loads of countries, and then I'm going to come back to you to see where we're at.
One weekend of pampering later.
Now, as you can see, I've gone through some of the countries and broken them up. We have Bulgaria, Slovakia, Serbia, Albania, Iraq, Syria. Now, obviously, you can break up Russia even more. You can get them to release lots of other countries. If you look at Europe, it's complete baldergore. That is crazy. We got Iceland, Greenland. It's gone a little bit crazy over in the States. Now I'll show you something else that I like to do. So if we pick the Hudson Bay Company, for example, and select this little bit of land here, if we use Control and Alt, we can actually give that to the Hudson Bay. Because what you're going to find is now there's not many great powers about because you've broken them all up. Now if we go to South Africa down here, we can give them a load of land down here. Because obviously you'll find majority of your games, there's nobody really in Africa that has any power. So again, doing this will completely change the dynamic of the game. Completely take Portugal out of there. And I'm going to leave Zulu in there just to see what they can do.
The sentries report Zulus to the southwest. Thousands of them.
And then if we take, let's go Algeria up here. And we give them some land as well. And then Sokoto, we can maybe give them a little bit of land down here. Now obviously I'm not like putting much thought into this, but when you play, you can set it up to how you want. And now there's a couple of countries in Africa that, you know, potentially have quite a bit of power. Now once you're set up and all your countries are done, just remember to turn off yes men. So you just type in yes men again and it will turn it off, and then click the debug mode, and then the debug mode will turn off. Now if you want to obviously completely uninstall that, you can just save the game and reload it without the mods added. And then from here, you can just go and pick whatever country you want. If we see the list of countries here, we can see that it's pretty much the same as it is when the game starts. Obviously, a few of the countries have changed positions. So yeah, I'll leave this running for 5 years and we'll come back and we'll see how everything is.
2,000 years later.
So we are back in 1850. So let's have a look to see how things have changed. So the top country list hasn't really changed much. I see Latvia are getting up there. Bulgaria have got up there. Now the bad news is unfortunately the Zulus did not make it.
No, God!
France.
No, God, please, no! No! No!
Conquered that territory down there.
No!
South Africa aren't actually doing too great. Algeria as well, not doing too great. Now Iceland's going through some problems. I noticed Brazil have had quite a hard time. They went through a few revolutions. Iraq is still there, Syria. And I'm pretty sure Russia hasn't changed either. So not too much change. Let's have a look at see how Europe's getting on. Still complete border gore. Not really too much has changed. Now I'm going to skip it on to 1900, so another 10 years, just to see what changes, and then we're going to leave it there.
1 million, zillion, jillion, dillion, cotillion times later.
So I brought you back a few years later. It's actually 1862. There was a couple of wars that I wanted to wait to end before I brought you back. But here we are. It's been 12 years since we last looked, so let's have a look what happened. So let's have a look in South America to start with. Not too much happened here. I thought there might have been a bit more colonization going on, but doesn't seem to be that way. A little bit happened up top. Now looking up into North America, lots happened up here. Somehow the United States of America, they took Alaska, and the Free States of America took pretty much the rest of Canada. I don't even know if the Hudson Bay Company is still around. It doesn't look like it. We've got New Africa down here. Mexico seemed to be going through some revolt at the moment. Mexico took a little bit of America there as well, and they seem to be warring with America at this moment. Great Britain seems pretty much the same. France seems pretty much the same. Now Spain have had a terrible time. They lost quite a bit of their land to Portugal. Then in Africa, a lot has changed as well. There's been quite a few little groups pop up. Morocco's gone for a tough time. Liberia are obviously a puppet to Great Britain. Algeria actually went down here a little bit. They took this bit of land here. Egypt, exactly the same. Now South Africa, they did get in a war with France, but nothing come of it. But France have obviously... Oh, South Africa has actually gone up here a little bit because they were cut off here before. France have actually taken over a bit more land. They seem to be going hard on Africa at the moment. Now Syria has taken half of Iraq because Syria was just up here before. There's been a war here between Bulgaria and Syria somewhere. Austria have been making moves. They've taken out a lot of Europe. No, Prussia have gone. Belgium have had a hard time as well. This Westphalia, they seem to have popped up. They've taken a little bit of Netherlands. So there's been quite a few wars in Europe. Now Russia, they seem to have grown bigger, I think. Russia have actually gained some land. They seem to have gone south here a little bit. Maybe taken a bit of Estonia as well. And then in Asia, well, India's gone through some changes. And the Great Zing Empire, they've taken maybe a little bit of Russia up here. I know something's changed around here. Quite a few wars have gone on in that 12 years, definitely. Let's have a look at the rankings to see where each country ranks now. France still up there, Austria still up there, Britain and America. Poland have gone high, and they haven't actually changed much. They've obviously just worked on infrastructure and just sorted the country out. Ireland are up there in 12. Wow. Westphalia, don't know where they come out from, but they've managed to make themselves a major power. But yeah, but that is where I'm going to leave this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then make sure you subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you try this and how your games get on. But thanks for watching, and until next time.